Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today I was going to get some blue painted on this thing, but of course it's going to rain, isn't it? You know, good old sunny Melbourne, and raining 1 second, snow the next. Yeah, it's crazy here. Anyway, so I've had to put them back inside, both of them. We'll just probably start with some mechanical stuff now. I did take the door frames off, the ones that are actually quite knackered, and we're going to rebuild some of the frames. The green one's completely gone, but we'll get that done another day. Oh yes, it's all happening. We have to strip this one back, get that green stuff off. It's not really good quality paint. Mark was asking about it, and I think it's just a paint that they put on from the factory just to stop them rusting, but you really want to take that stuff off. You know, it just doesn't seem to grab onto the metal that well, so paint stripper works really well, or sandblast it. Obviously that won't fit in the cabinet. Anyway, we'll just paint stripper that and get it painted. It's supposed to be two-tone, and we'll have to, you know, to shivel it and do all that. So yeah, I was kind of, you know, looking forward to getting some blue on it, but it'll just have to wait for another day, unfortunately. So anyway, we might get on to putting the fuel tank in, because I've got that ready over here. Put the new sender unit in it as well. It did come up beautiful, didn't it? Nice and shiny. So we've got the tank straps for it. I've got the felts, which I will just glue onto these positions here. We need to get the gasket for this part just here. I'm going to put a gasket in there, and I think we'll probably use the original one that's up in here too. It's not too bad condition. So yeah, let's get that thing mounted. We might as well do something, and go from there. Okay, so we've got to get the straps. You can see here, let's get a bit of light on the subject here. Got the straps tucked into those little sort of plates. Hey, be quiet over there, all right? Trying to talk here, buddy. Yeah, so you can see that strap just goes in between there like that. Tell you what, they were full of rust, so that took a while. That took about 20 minutes to clean them out, because I couldn't even get the straps in. One little job you think is going to go well, and it doesn't. And then of course these holes here were completely rusted too, so I had to re-tap those. So we're pretty much ready to go. I've got a new Wolfberg West seal, which is this one here. There's the original, and you can see it's a little bit on the squash side. You probably could still use it, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's the seal there, and we've also got some new felt, so I'm just going to get a bit of contact adhesive and just glue those to the tank where they need to go. So righto, fuel tank's ready to go. We've got the felts glued on. We've got the felts glued on in here, and glued the rubber gasket there. Yeah, let's put her in. Let's see how we go with this. There we go, one fuel tank mounted and bolted in. All we're going to do is obviously run the wires to the sender unit at the top. And as you remember in our previous video, I've got that little inspection little flap up the top there, so we can always get to the wires if we need be later on, or look at the sender unit, whatever else. Anyway, that's one little job ticked off. Let's continue on with the build. Righto guys, we have a nice sunny day, and I think we're going to start to get some blue onto this thing. We'll just do a preliminary final, well, not final, we'll do a first coat blue just to get this red oxide covered up. I just thought it's a good day. We've got some rain coming, so I thought I'll try and get at least one coat on it today, and then we can have a look how it's all going to go after that. And a couple of things I've still got to do. I had to chop a little flap out here. Unfortunately, this little part here fell out. That little part in there, so I'm going to have to make a little retaining clip, which I've done, and that's got to get welded on top like so. That'll stop the that little plate from sliding away, and then we've got issues after that. And then we'll just have to weld the flap back down. So that's one little job I've got to do, but we'll do that later once it's raining and it's inside here. Let's get some blue paint on this thing. How exciting! Righto guys, well, not too bad at all. That's pretty much a first blend on it, and I'm kind of liking the way where it's at. Just this long panel, it's got that real nice sort of aged look about it. I didn't want to do too much blue, and I think that's really balanced it quite nicely. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? I mean, I know it is a patina thing, but I think it doesn't look too bad. You can see the front. I sort of covered up a lot of that stuff that wasn't sort of, yeah, might be a little bit too much red in the corner there. We might go over that, but the roof actually came up really nice. If I put the camera up high, not bad. And have a look at this side over here. What do you reckon? I think it's a winner. I'm actually happy how that looks. It's just got enough of a wear on it, which, you know, you don't want to go and put too much blue on it and then you start to just have a completely new panel. So I tried to leave a lot of that red oxide up on that roof edge where you would think the sun would be hitting it on that corner. It does look good. I'm into that. I went over the grills a little bit as well, just cover them up. And they've still got, you know, the crackly paint and all the textures and stuff on them. So yeah, I reckon this is pretty nice. So I suppose I've gone backwards. I probably should have painted the inside first, but that's only going to be a primer in there anyway, so we can do that. It was such a nice day, I wanted to get out and get it done now. And then of course I've done the back a little bit as well here. You probably won't be able to see it with the light. And added a little bit on the corners there that were too much colour going on. There was too much variation there, so I've just blended a little bits and pieces in that. But yeah, I think this is definitely going to do the job nicely. We are having some sign writing put on the side of the doors, so we're going to get a professional in to do that. I probably could have done it, but it's going to take a long time and I'll probably stuff it up. So, you know, we'll get someone that does pinstriping and sign writing to come and do that. And we just got this little section here to do. All I've got to do there is sand that back. That's actually got the blue under it there, so just do that little part later. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the way it's come out. It's awesome. All right, well, we'll continue and move on to some other bits and pieces that we need to do. So one of the next things we've got to do, unfortunately, it is raining outside. It is super cold. It's only like, what is it? It's 9 degrees outside. In here it's 17. Only because I put the diesel heater on for a little while just to warm the room up to keep it bearable anyway. And I do have ventilation too, so don't freak out with carbon monoxide poisoning. We're going to get onto the brakes because none of this has been done yet, so we still need to check these reduction hubs, drain the gearbox fluid out of them, put some new stuff in them. You know, I mean, everything's spinning around, but we'll take the drums off, and we will also change obviously all the shoes and the wheel cylinders, and we've got to do that to front and back and run the brake lines. So there's a bit of work to do. There's a bit of work to do. All right, let's get this thing off and see what condition is like inside. Let's get the torch here and have a bit of a look-see. Yeah, we'll have to, oh yeah, they're completely gone. That's that top little retaining clip that holds these adjusters from moving. Obviously the handbrake cable's been disconnected. Yeah, well, looks like we're going to have to pull all this off and go from there. All right, let's disassemble this thing and see what's going on. Pretty amazing. That seal is 1,000,000 years old. Get this backing plate off. There we go. So we're going to go and replace, well, pretty much all of these parts. We've got new backing plate and we've got new brakes as well. So pretty much this is going to be going straight back on with all new hardware. You can see the bottom of this one's completely rusted away because it's been sitting in the dirt. So yeah, we'll probably just take this over to the bench and we can rebuild it over there and then slot it back on. And obviously while this is off now, we can give this a clean. I am going to get some new bearings for it because I think it's just cheap insurance, even though they don't seem to be too bad, but hey, they've been sitting there for a long time. All right, let's move you over here. Okay, so what I decided to do first was just coat the reduction hubs in KBS. So they're all done. I've got some new bearings and seals coming. You can see that one's done as well. So I just thought, yeah, I'll give them a coat, make them look nice and pretty. Yeah, so then next thing we're going to do now is just pull these things apart. We obviously got to transfer a couple of the components from the old one onto the new one. We've got new shoes, new brake cylinder, and obviously we'll just reuse all the springs and the handbrake lever as well. Okay, let's get these little guys done. Okay, let's get these rear brake assemblies put together. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is unfortunately getting thrown away. Yeah, it's you can see there, pretty far gone. So that's for the bin. These are for the bin. That's for the bin. Meat wise, geez, it didn't do a lot of work. These pads are I mean, they're delaminating here. You can see there, look at that. It's coming off. Interesting how they were glued on. Probably asbestos too, I'd say, back in the day. Now what we do need to do is take off this guy because we need to use him again, the handbrake. Well, yeah, she's solid. There we go. Done diddly done. There's that. Now we can probably get the pin out without doing too much damage to it. There we go. Because we do need to reuse that, even though this is pretty. Yeah, we'll go and give that a sandblast. Give these parts a sandblast that we're going to need to use again. That can get chucked away. All that can get chucked away, so that's one done. We'll go and sandblast these parts and then I'll bring you back in. Okay, so here's all the parts sandblasted that we needed to do, and even did these little guys here. I put some lubricant. This is like a copper sort of greasy spray that you put inside the threads just to make sure nothing binds up. So that's all done. And now we can start assembling one of the new pads here. Oh, it's good to be clean. I'll tell you guys, this is the most awesome towelettes you can get. It just takes everything off. I don't think you'd have them in America. You might, I don't know. But I use these all the time. They just clean up your hands. That'll take everything off. Grease, paint, the whole lot. Probably take your skin off too, but who knows. Anyway, let's go. So, first things first, see, we've got to get, tuck that in. Like that. And then of course we've got to put this on, which goes that way, and then put our little clip in, a little clip like this. Okay, that takes care of that. Okay, so that bit's done. We need to put a little bit of lubricant on these guys. We're going to slot in And there we have it, fellas. These are done and ready to get installed. We're still waiting on some new bearings and gaskets to go around here on both sides, so there'll be a couple of days, but at least the rear brakes are done, and I think it means it's coffee time, and it means I am out of here. We'll see you guys in the next episode. More progress coming. We've got the wheels, tyres coming. We've got to get to Oven Boy's place to get the motor done, and it's not far off. The seats are at the upholsterers. I've got to get the inside painted in primer, and we still need that wide piece for underneath the heater section, which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is this part here. It goes from here and then it splits into two and goes to each heater box, and it comes out through this little spot here. So if anyone's got that, let me know, please, because yeah, we can't find one anywhere in Australia at the moment, and I don't really want to have to fabricate it out of exhaust pipe parts, which I might have to do if we keep coming up short, because it will stop us from continuing inside. Anyway, that'll do for me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Yoo!